We are
Thanks for having
learning
me.
some new details about ICE Watch. That is a network across the country that claims to be legal observers of ICE operations. But here's what DHS sources tell us. ICE Watch aims to monitor, track, interfere, and oppose ongoing federal immigration enforcement operations. The group is present in multiple sanctuary cities across the country. It is linked to multiple confrontations with federal agents throughout the country and allegedly involved in numerous instances of activists ramming agents with their cars. Renee Nicole Good was allegedly part of that group, which has no formal leadership. Federal authorities are now looking into those networks to determine who is funding them and who's training them. Joining me now to talk about this is Jeffrey Halstead, Genesis spokesman and a former Fort Worth, Texas, chief of police. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Good morning to you. This is a really tough topic for people across the nation that are looking at the videos and coming out of this with very different perspectives, and politicians coming out with very different perspectives. But when it comes to these organizations like ICE Watch, which exist in many different forms across the country, ICE Watch itself across the country, but other similar organizations as well that operate in similar ways but under different names. Your thoughts on the challenges that they pose, particularly when it comes to aggressive tactics like including vehicles in their activities?
Well, I've had a lot of experience trying to work with these groups. If you remember, in the early 1990s, community-based policing was all across America, and it was very successful, very productive. And as a field force commander, I would actually meet with protest groups, Cop Watch and other affiliated groups, and work on their legal capacity to work with us, march, protest, and do it peacefully. I think that's gone away with this political divisiveness we see around the U.S. And now these groups don't want to work with law enforcement, communicate, collaborate, share information, or learn. As chief, it was very, very important that I would get activists into the academy and show them how we train on use of force. They became better informed activists, and they really became partners with us so that they could protest peacefully, we could do our job safely, and we had relationships that worked. Those relationships aren't existing in Minnesota, and that is horrible.
Can you imagine any sort of scenario where ICE Watch would be willing to cooperate, communicate with ICE? It seems that their effort is to shut the organization down, to shut the agency down.
If they truly wanted to have an impact and make positive, proactive change, they would build communication-based relationships. I know this because we built a platform that allows law enforcement to collaborate and share sensitive information in an encrypted portal legally with these protest groups. And those agencies that do that don't have these issues. So ICE Watch could work effectively with ICE. We have a very steep hill to climb to start making this relationship work, but there's avenues for them to do this successfully and start making proactive change that keeps their members safe.
You know, one more question. There are a lot of people that might want to be part of an organization like ICE Watch, but they're part of a different organization, an organization that perhaps has a different name for what they call the people that are tracking ICE out on the streets. And ICE Watch was using terms like legal observer. I've heard verifiers used before. Some organizations say, you know, we go, we take pictures, we stand back at least 7 feet, we let the agents know that we're there. But what about the training of people that are really going into dangerous situations where you don't know who's being arrested, you don't know where the situation will go, and you're standing 7 feet away, 10 feet away, shouting things at officers? Your thoughts on any sort of training that might be happening with these organizations?
You know, you bring up an excellent point. I've talked about this for over a decade now, because anytime there's a high-profile use of force incident or a deadly force encounter, the immediate reaction is we want all of the training from that law enforcement entity. But when there is fault, alleged misconduct, or potential violations of law of a protest or activism group, where's their records of training? Where is their professional accountability? Where is their litigation that could be filed against them because you didn't train your members accordingly? They can work with their local police departments and learn about how we train and prepare and become partners in this effort. We want them to have peaceful protests. We want to work with them. We just want them to work with us so we can help them train and learn more effectively on how we mobilize and how we handle these potentially violent incidents. And then it's become a much safer incident, and there's teamwork involved.
And that sounds like something that could potentially save lives. We greatly appreciate your insight this morning. Former Fort Worth Chief of Police Jeffrey Halstead, thank you very much.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.